Florida summers were humid in a way that made your skin feel like it was never quite dry. Madison Hawley wasn't used to that. She was from Oregon, all rain and gray skies. But a fresh start was what she needed. And when she was offered a night shift nursing position at Nursing Home 42B, she took it without hesitation. Her first week went quietly enough. The place was understaffed, sure, and a little run down, but it had charm. Old framed paintings, oak banisters, creaky but clean floors. The residents were sweet too, mostly retired teachers, war vets, and grandmothers who always wanted to feed her ginger mints. But by the second week, things changed. And not gradually, violently. Don't stay after 3:30. It started with a resident named Mr. Kenneth. At 2:50 a.m. one night, Madison found him pacing the hallway in his slippers. "You should go," he said, eyes wide. "Go where, Mr. Kenneth?" "Anywhere, just don't stay after 3:30. Madison tried to laugh it off. "I'm here all night, remember?" He didn't smile. "People like you, new ones, always say that." That same night, she noticed something strange. The other residents were all awake too, every single one of them. Sitting on the edges of their beds, listening, whispering to themselves. By 3:31, the halls were completely silent. The door in the basement, on her third week, she took her break downstairs. The staff lounge in the basement was usually empty during the night shift, but tonight, the lights flickered. The hallway was colder than usual, and then she saw it. A steel door bolted shut at the end of a hallway that wasn't on the building's map. It looked like it hadn't been opened in decades. Dust covered the frame, chains wrapped around the handle. Scratched into the metal were 6 words. "Don't open unless you're already inside." Madison stepped back, heart thudding. She asked the head nurse about it the next morning. "There's no such door," the nurse said quickly. "Basement's just pipes and laundry storage. Maybe you were overtired." The diary, the next night. One of the residents, an old woman named Agnes, called Madison into her room. Agnes clutched a leather-bound book and pressed it into Madison's hands. "They won't let me keep this," she whispered. "But you should read it if you're going to stay here." Madison didn't open the diary until after her shift. It was a patient log from 1954, written in pencil by someone named Dr. Elspeth Crane, but this wasn't a nursing home back then. It was St. Bellamy's Institute for the Mentally Afflicted, and what she read inside chilled her. They don't sleep, they wait. The diary entries were clinical at first, progress notes, treatments, medications. Then they turned erratic. Patient number 72B keeps whispering about the shift, says he wakes up somewhere else every night between 3:30 and 3:44. Patients in Wing C refuse to sleep past 3:29. They scream when the lights flicker. The door was locked, but I heard it breathing. They don't sleep, they wait. Madison slammed the book shut. There was something wrong with this place. And it wasn't just old ghosts. She started noticing patterns. Every night at 3:28 a.m., the temperature would drop. Just slightly, but enough to see her breath. The power would blank for a split second. The residents all moved at once, sitting up, standing, whispering in low, unified tones. She checked the security cams. Between 3:30 and 3:44, the footage was always corrupted. Static, screaming. Glimpses of faces too close to the lens, faces that didn't belong to anyone on staff. One night, the footage showed her standing in the hallway, but she was in the break room at that moment, drinking tea. The nurse who vanished Madison brought the diary to the head nurse, Janice. She was older, nearing retirement, with kind eyes and a constant look of fatigue. Janice didn't even look at the book. She simply sighed. "You weren't supposed to find that." Madison's stomach dropped. "What is this place?" "It's a place where time bends, Madison. Where the past lingers like rot under the floorboards. The people who built this place didn't heal the sick. They stored them, buried their pain, their memories, their selves, Why don't the others remember? Madison whispered. Because they can't, because remembering invites it in. Janice paused, her eyes misted. I used to work with a girl like you, bright, curious, brave. Her name was Elsie. Madison blinked. What happened to her? Janice looked down. She stayed past 3:30. 3:30 Madison decided to leave. She typed out her resignation, packed her things, but something gnawed at her. She had to know what was behind the door. So on her final night, she went back to the basement. The steel door stood waiting. She brought bolt cutters. The first chain snapped like brittle wood. The second screamed as it broke. The third didn't exist anymore. It was gone, as if it had never been there. Inside, she opened the door. Inside was a narrow stairwell, spiraling downward, too far for a normal building. The walls were pulsing, not metaphorically actually pulsing, like breathing. And at the bottom, a room, circular, black walls, hundreds of chairs. Each chair had a figure, twisting, flickering, faces blurred like someone had smeared oil across time. In the center, a mirror. She stepped closer. In the reflection, she saw every version of herself. Happy, old, crying, dying, then none. Then Elsie, screaming, "Welcome, Nurse Holly." A voice echoed across the chamber, low, smooth, like oil running over bones. You remembered. That's how you got here. Madison turned. The mirror rippled. Who are you? I am the gap between forgotten and remembered. The weight of memory. The rot they sealed in this place. Behind the voice, dozens of mirrors shimmered to life. Each showed someone different residents, nurses, children, screaming. Frozen in time. You opened the door, Nurse Holly, it whispered. And now, you're part of the shift. They'll say she resigned the next morning. Madison was gone. Janice told the agency she'd left early. Couldn't handle the night shifts. When asked, the residents shrugged. What girl? They didn't remember her name. Didn't remember anyone new. Didn't remember the girl before her, or the one before that. But every night, just after 3:30 they all sit up in their beds and whisper.